God despises this. He despises predatory lending. He doesn't like people who make money off of poor people and catching them in a tight. So understand this. When you got a payday loan, see that as the devil with a pitchfork and with horns. Make it Freddy Krueger, make it Michael Myers, make it whomever demonic figure you want them to do. Make it whatever you're afraid of. That payday loan, that title loan from Title Max, all that stuff. You gotta see that the way it is, because they know. Because the deal about it, they say, I know you're in such a tight that you're willing now to pay interest, get this, to pay interest off of what you own. You're willing to take what you own and then pay me interest on it. And you're willing to tell me I can have your next paychecks for this $300. And they're always over in the hood. If you can see a payday loan place from your apartment, you're officially in the hood. Am I making sense? Think about this. It is so poor, so bad. Check cashing places. I will charge you money to give you your money.
Yes, sir.
Think about the logic of this. For a small fee, I will give you your money. So every Friday, come by and give me $7.95 to give you the money that you paid for. So now multiply in your mind $8 times 52. Real quick, $8 times 52. If it was $7.95. What is it?
I think $416.
So why don't you just take $416 and sow it into the church? Because you just giving it away. At least with that, guess what you do? You get the harvest. Am I making sense? But you literally say, the banks don't trust me because I overspend and I don't budget and I leave myself in deficits, so many deficits that they won't allow me to open up an account to put money in because I leave them in the lurch. And so now I have to now get my check and go to a place and pay them money so I can get the money that I earn. And I believe that that's intelligent. Some of y'all looking like, man, I'm so mad at myself. So Leviticus 25:35 says, if one of your brethren becomes poor and falls into poverty among you, then you shall help him, like a stranger. Now understand this. Somebody said this, see, the Bible says you're supposed to help me when I'm poor, right? It didn't say when you have bad ethics. If your brethren becomes poor, if something happens and falls into poverty, not lives in. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
You shall help him like a stranger or sojourner, that he may live with you. Take no usury or interest from him, but fear fear your God, that your brother may live with you. In other words, and he says, you shall not lend your money for usury, nor lend them food for profit. So it says that when you find a person in a tight, don't use that tight spot to make interest off of them and make money. That's predatory lending. Am I making sense? So don't rent your tires. Don't rent your hair. But these are all the things we do. Don't take a payday loan. And if you did take a payday loan, then realize that you're just gonna have to be broke 2025, suck it up, and just pay it off and just hurt because you said, I'm gonna forego this next year and be broke and have bologna sandwiches for the first month. Then by June, I can afford some cheese. In August, I'm gonna get some mayonnaise. But I'm on the comeback trail. You see, this is what, because most of us are not willing to do this. So we get mad with God because God still says so. And you're mad at God when the problem is you're in debt. And you're getting further and further in debt. And what God is saying, I'm trying to give you a place where we have a harvest. So stop being mad at me because I'm trying to build your interest. But you don't like what I'm doing because you're too busy paying interest. And so you see giving to the church as a loss, but you don't see a payday loan as a loss. A credit card as a loss. A check cashing place as Leroy as a loss. Am I making sense? You know, Proverbs 28:8 says, whoever increases wealth by taking interest for profit from the poor amasses it for another who will be kind to the poor. In other words, God says, I'm going to take their money because y'all are making money off the poor. And I'm going to give it to somebody else. So God doesn't like predatory lending. I'm almost finished. Are we all right so far? So now, once again, and this is in your book. So the great thing about this is we don't think about this as being part of the kingdom. Why is this part of the kingdom, Dr. Moody? Why was this part? Why would we have to talk about this in the kingdom? This is a financial seminar. It's called stewardship. If you can imagine, God gives you $100. He said, I'm gonna bless you. Here's $100. Now you can take that $100 and now you can do a lot with it. Or you can take the $100 and you can say, now it's going to be $92.05 because I had to go to the check cashing place to cash it. And then it's going to be $40 because I had to go buy the payday loan or the title company to save my car and at least give them this last little bit. And then I'm taking my goods and going to the pawn shop, and I'm pawning stuff to pay loans. So I'm losing to lose. And no one's telling me, stop the madness. And I figure if I could just make it through the week, I've done well. So I pawn my jewelry, I pawn all my fun stuff, I've paid a payday loan, my bank account's closed, my credit cards are all closing on me, my interest rates are out the roof, and I'm mad at God because God's not blessing my life. And God's saying, I am blessing you, but you'll never see it because you got bags of locusts walking around. So whenever your harvest starts to grow, what do? They eat it up. And my last point is this. I think this is my last point. When you look at stewardship in the future, how do we handle stewardship in the future? One, we have to make sure that we share information. We got to teach our children. First of all, we got to learn about money. But then we got to teach our children's children. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7, it wasn't just talking about money. It was talking about the Torah and the laws of the Torah. But it says this: teach them diligently to your children. Talk to them when you sit down in the house. Talk to them when you walk the way. This is, I think on page 125 in your book still. But stewardship means that I've got to teach my children how to be wise stewards, and my children's children. A lot of times what we do is we never talk to our children about finances. We always talk to them about consumption. You never tell your child wants a toy, you just go get it. You never say, well, how much is that? How much money do you have? How many hours is it going to take? If you're making this many, if you do this, how much? I tell you what, I'm going to give you $1 every time you do something so you can work toward that. And when your kids do that, by the time they get that money, they be like, man, I ain't finna buy that. It was too long. That took a long time. And you're like, oh, it took a long time. Because think about it now. When my kids were growing up, the thing was, when my kids were growing up, it was just give them one of your cards. They never associated cards with money. Just give them one of your cards, Daddy. Because, I mean, little kids, think about it. Little kids, they just associated, you go in line and you hand them a card and we get stuff. So my kids were like, just give them one of your cards. Give them the blue card. The blue one. You got my wallet, kid. Now our kids are like, my kids are just like, your kids are like, just go on your phone. Yeah, or they're like, just have them send to the house. Like magically, you just say, and the bag just appears. But they think they think that because we're not teaching them about money and stewardship. All we're teaching them about is consumption. So a kid doesn't have any problem asking you for a $500 this, a $300 that, because and they're not even blinking. You know, we want Dad, we want this, and they send us PowerPoints and Canvas presentations. It's happening. It's going. Watch and see. You just got to live long enough. You know, by the time your kids get old enough, Rachel, they gonna be sending you holograms. They're gonna do this. Bing, bing, bing. They're gonna, your phone gonna start going off when you're getting near. Getting near. You're close. But when do we teach our children about finances? When do we teach our children about stewardship? When you're at home, I love this text because it talks about, it pushes back even on the idea of children's church. Not that children's church is wrong, but that children's church was never meant to be the primary space where kids learn about God and God things. It said that the family and the parents' primary responsibility was to do that. But when you get home, what do you want to do with your child? You want to give them an iPad or a movie, and then you want to go and be entertained yourself. When this says, teach them when you're at home, teach them when you're sitting at the house, teach them when you walk by the way. We always look for babysitters in place to drop them off. Your soccer coach, your chess coach, your ballet coach, your swim class, your this, your that, YouTube. And now our kids are being parented, and the world and the enemy has access to them. So when do we have this? When are you sitting around teaching your children those lessons? Then inheritance, Proverbs 13:22. We always like this. A good man or a wise man leaves inheritance to his children's children. Do you have 100 years worth of revenue that's sitting there, then you're not wise. Are you setting it up so that it's going to be that it's perpetual, or do you hope? Are your children going to be able to burn through your inheritance in 4 months? Because you never taught them the information. It doesn't matter how much money you left them. You never taught them the information, so they're going to burn through it. And you're going to be dead, and they're going to buy cars, houses, and all kind of stuff. And they're going to be dressed down, and they're going to have outfits every day. And then investing. Spend less than you earn, very simple. Save and invest the difference over time. Spend less than you earn, simple. But we don't really talk about saving and investing over time. We don't even talk to our kids about the idea of what investing looks like. Our kids don't know a bond, a savings from an annuity. And so if we're not teaching them these things, then for many of us, God is like, you're hurting them. You're hurting your children. And if many of us who are parents now, and some grandparents, you can look and you can watch how your kids are acting now. You said, man, I didn't teach them none of this. And now what's happening is they're eating up my harvest. Because whatever I saved, I didn't plan on them having little Leroy Jr. and Simona and Raitra. And now they all at my house, and I'm paying for daycare, child care, but they know that I ain't gonna let Raitra go to any kind of place. So I'm buying Raitra clothes and diapers and little Leroy Jr. and I'm paying for all this stuff, and I'm driving them around because most of the kids who we didn't train right, now they know how to play chicken with us. Which means they say, I'm not going to do this for the kids. I don't have no money. And if you want it to be done, you pay for it. And they know that if they play chicken with you, you're going to dodge first. And so now you got what happened to all your savings and all your investments. Because you don't want to let the kids deal with it. And so now God and your kids and God and your grandkids start to fight. Because we say, so, and you see little Raitra's face. We say, give, and you see little Leroy Jr. swim lessons. And you say, I can't do that. And so I hope these things help. This is the idea, because when we understand stewardship, say to God, and we start thinking about our money differently, then you'll find out two things. That one, you'll have more money to save. Two, you'll have more money to sow. Three, you'll have a better harvest because you got savings going on, you got interest being built on that, and you got money coming in from your harvest. And you'll find out now prosperity feels different. And it feels different when God now is blessing and filling me and giving back. But it don't feel like I'm always at a lack and I'm always losing.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you liked this message, you can find the rest at cmllcstore.com. We invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sundays at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible, and you can get all your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you. We ask that you subscribe to the R.O.C.K ATX on YouTube and follow the R.O.C.K ATX on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all the R.O.C.K is doing. You can also get connected on our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.